Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? This is the new batch, right? Okay. What's your background like? Just general. Engineering, okay. How many engineers? Okay. 50%, yeah? Rest? Commerce. How many commerce students? Thank God. Yeah, this is one of the very few colleges where we have less number of engineers doing MBA actually. Yeah. Because in our institute itself, there was like 90% of the engineers or something. So, it's good. How do you think it's a good thing? Think. Pallavi, we have to make them speak. Chocolates, where are they? Yeah, I think last time it did work here. So whosoever is going to answer, we'll definitely be giving them chocolates, okay? Otherwise, it's really, really difficult for us to make you speak. So, first question is this. How do you think a mix of engineers, commerce, BBA students is good to have in a batch rather than just one particular stream? This is the easiest question I could have asked. Yes, please. Please state your name and then.
uh, computer science. So I'm having the knowledge in computer science and along with the mathematical field. So if I'm doing MBA from this college, suppose so if I am doing the accounts, whatever it is, so accounts, whatever it is necessary, that is the mathematics first, and rest is about the IT field. That is, if I'm having the knowledge in IT field, then if I'm having interest in mathematical field, then it is become easy for me to do the accounts.
That is perfect. I'm saying how is the mix of students beneficial for you?
Okay. Suppose I'm not having the any knowledge regarding the accounts field or financial field. So just my friend, that is my friend, co-friend, Subham. So he's having the good knowledge in finance field. So he can help me in that case.
Definitely. I think this is one of the main reasons. Chocolate for him. How it is beneficial is because you'll get to see the mix of the crowd. You'll try to analyze how different people or from people from different backgrounds are analyzing things differently. Engineer people may not have that much of a business sense, but when they actually interact with the commerce or the business, let's say BBA graduates, they'll try to analyze one particular situation from different angles. This is what you have to do in the next 2 years. Um, before starting up with anything, I'll just tell you a little bit on what you can do in the next 2 years, which can improve your life beyond comparisons. I was also an engineer by background. I was a biotech engineer for that matter. After biotechnology, I didn't know what to do actually. I'm being very honest about it. I got through Infosys um, after doing engineering, which actually is a mass recruiter. There are a lot of engineers who must be knowing Infosys, TCS, HCL. These are the three companies which will take everyone from the campus. But that was something which I never wanted to do. Be a part of a crowd and just keep on coding throughout my life. That's when I decided I'll take maybe a different turn. I started up with a job which was offering me much, much less than what Infosys was offering. It was really difficult to convince my parents at that particular time. But then sometimes you have to take a difficult call. When I entered into the core biotech marketing and all, that's when I realized that if I just develop a little bit of skills here, I can make a difference, which probably if I would have just been a technology person, I wouldn't have been able to do. So in the next 2 years after doing the job, my only aim was not placements or anything. My only aim was to make my profile such that any recruiter who's going to see, they would be wanting to hire me. Your aim in the next 2 years shouldn't be that NDIM should be getting placements for you. You have to create a name for yourself and you have to make your profile such that you are creating an impact in front of recruiters. and they should be knowing NDIM because of you, not you because of NDIM. Okay? We have a few video. You all watch movies? Hollywood movies? How many of you don't watch it? You won't get a chocolate, sorry. Yeah. Okay, so we have a few clips which are supposed to be inspirational and all, and whenever we all see it, we get inspired by that. So let us start from there. Let us just try to get the gist out of it, why we are showing you those videos. And after every clip, we'll ask you the question from which movie is it, and whosoever is going to answer definitely is going to get the chocolate. Yeah? Is the projector connected?
Okay, Pete, don't you drift to the strong side. Coach, they're calling a holding penalty on me every time. Did I ask for your excuses? You want to act like a star? You better give me a star effort, do you hear me? Forget about him. Alan, you're in. Come on. All right. Bill, I don't want them to gain another yard. You blitz all night. If they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm going to take every last one of you out. You make sure they remember forever the night they played the Titans. Leave them down. You find out life's this game in.
Yes, remember the Titans. Hope you catch it. If you are able to throw, just show your hand. You think she would have been able to throw there?
Yes, they say yes. Okay, the next one.
Inches. So is football. Because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, one half a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second. On this team, we fight for that inch. On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that inch. We claw with our fingernails for that inch. Because we know when we add up all those inches, that's going to make the fucking difference between winning and losing. Between living and dying. I'll tell you this, in any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die who's going to win that inch. And I know if I'm going to have any life anymore, it's because I'm still willing to fight and die for that inch. Because that's what living is. The 6 inches in front of your face. Now I can't make you do it. You got to look at the guy next to you. Look into his eyes. Now I think you're going to see a guy who will go that inch with you. You're going to see a guy who will sacrifice himself for this team because he knows when it comes down to it, you're going to do the same for him. That's a team, gentlemen. And either we heal now as a team or we will die as individuals. That's football, guys. That's all it is. Now, what are you going to do?
batch we have.
I think we have a clap for winner.
The next one is my favorite. This one I'm sure you people are... Okay, we already had that. No chocolate for you people then. Just see the... Which movie? First year class.
I don't know, you know why?
Can anyone repeat this
Probably
dialogue?
about as good as I was. That's kind of the way it works, you know, and I was below average.
Anyone who can repeat the dialogue, the chocolate for this
Probably
person.
ultimately rank somewhere around there, you know, so really, it goes sell a lot of things, just not this. So I don't want you out here shooting this ball around all day and night, all right? Okay? Good. Okay. Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. Not even me. All right? You got a dream, you got to protect it. People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you you can't do it. You want something, go get it. Period.
You can repeat the dialogue? No. For the previous one. No? How many of you have seen the movie? Yeah, this is one movie which actually everyone should see because you have seen the movie, right? Yeah. Why should someone see the movie? Yeah. It is a perfect example of how persistence is going to lead to success someday. If you are never ever going to lose hope, because I'm sure, like, is there anyone who would say over here that my life has always been bed of roses? I was born with a golden spoon and I never had to face anything in life. Is there anyone who's like that? Is there anyone who never ever had a rough day in the life? Or never ever had a rough patch, few days that were really terrible? How the person actually went through the most difficult phase in his life but never lost the hope, and how did he come out of it in a way that he was the most successful man on earth. So this movie is about that. So in case anyone hasn't seen the movie, this is highly recommended. Okay, can anyone shout the name of the previous movie for the chocolate? I said, can anyone shout the name? Who was it? Yes, she deserves the chocolate. Clap, please. What's your name? Yeah, Yamini. Thank you, Yamini. The last one. I think people have already guessed it. Who was the first one to guess it? This one everyone knows, okay. After, the chocolate after the scene, okay?
Sit right here. I'd hold you up and say to your mother, this kid's gonna be the best kid in the world. This kid's gonna be somebody better than anybody ever knew. And you grew up good and wonderful. It was great just watching you every day. It was like a privilege. And the time come for you to be your own man and take on the world, and you did. But somewhere along the line, you changed. You stopped being you. You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame, like a big shadow. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You're a nobody. You're gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can yank it and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's what winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, then go on and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hit and not point fingers saying,
Which movie? Yeah, this blue guy. Oh, who's that guy? Okay, so try to behave a little bit, okay? Are you feeling any pumped up after seeing those small clips? Yeah. Just clap for yourself, please. Yeah. Why are you clapping for yourself now? Just because I said? No, just because you think you have done something. Mm-hmm. I've asked a question. Why did you clap for yourself? You think you have done something, or just because I asked to? I know there would be few people who would still say at the back, just because I asked. But do you really think you have done something good in life? Exactly. If you think you were better than what you were yesterday, you have definitely achieved something. Not only that, if you are doing a post graduation, you already know you are above at least 53% or 73% of the population in India. I don't have the stats, so don't quote me on anywhere on the stats. But this is something which you have, right? You have the resource. Now, in the next 2 years, why we are talking about right now, because this is your induction. This is where you have just started your journey for your MBA. If you are going to make the most out of these 2 years, trust me, the kind of person you are currently, I can tell you a small exercise to do. If you think you have, let's say, 5 good qualities, can you tell me any 5 good qualities you have? Yeah. Okay. 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 Which is the same as the third one. But then you are a leader. Doesn't go hand in hand. Yeah. Three. I'll still count three. Two more. Okay. Anyone else who can tell 5 good qualities that are there in you without thinking too much? I'm not judging you. I'll tell you why I asked. There is a particular reason why I'm doing this exercise. Anyone else? Yeah. You think or you are a team player? You okay? You are a team player. Good listener. Like this? Are you presentable? Yeah. Okay. Okay. 3 things you picked up from him. Or you have just picked up things, right? You haven't even changed the words. Okay, I'm not discouraging. Very good that if you really have these qualities, very good. Anyone else who can come up with better? I mean, not using the same language, even if it's the same thing. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Right. Again, 1 and 4. Yeah. This is okay. Yeah. Never give up. Okay, I'll give you that one. You never give up. Otherwise, leadership qualities and acting to the situation is again what these people have already said, right? Which is fine. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying anything else you think you people have. Stand up and speak. Whoever is speaking. It's everyone's body or your body. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. life, yeah. To add something to your skills every day. Perfect. He's a little bit philosophical, no? But good, good. I'm just kidding, yeah. So if you see, there are 4 people who stood up. We couldn't get 20 adjectives up till now, right? 20 different adjectives. You all have qualities. I'm not saying you don't have. He at least had the courage to speak up and think about those 5 qualities. From where he picked up, he exactly said, because he knew, let's say 3 or 4 he had in mind, 2 he picked up. I'm not saying that wasn't wrong, but yes, it helped you a little bit, You picked up, she picked up, she had like one more thing to add, and from there, this keep on going, right? But you need to think. You people are thinking about 5 good things in yourself. At least these 4 people knew something. What about the rest? You don't have 5 good qualities in yourself? What have you been doing in the past 20, 21 years of your life? If you can't think about just 5 good qualities. Now, how do you think you will be able to convince a recruiter that you are the best fit for their organization? Is the question. चुप बैठो यार. Just speak something. Yeah, so that is fine. You have to be honest. But then how are you going to convince them if you are not able to think about 5 good things in yourself? Okay, I know 90% of you are not going to do this, but after going back home, just spend some time with yourself and think about, let's say, only 5 things which you think are good in you, and just jot them down. After 2 years, or within these 2 years, just try to increase that list to 10. Okay, this is something you can do. It's very simple, right? You have to just, you don't even need any diary or something. You can use your emails you can email yourself, okay, these are the 5 things which on 17th June 2014 I think I have good in me. Now, 2 years down the lane, just try to use your MBA education, the resources which NDM is going to provide you, or any corporate interactions are going to provide you. Just try to use that to increase that list to 10, so that whenever recruiters are coming for summers or for the final placements, before they are asking you, you have a lot to tell about yourself. In this course of presentation, we'll be showing you a small video again, because we really like videos. So we'll be showing you small videos where that will have some of the interview questions which every recruiter are going to ask in some way or other. Maybe the language is going to be a little bit different, but these are definite questions. So if not 10 on 10, but at least 2 or 3 questions every recruiter is going to ask you. The only purpose of this exercise is, before anyone is going to come and ask these questions, you should be prepared, because no one in the entire MBA education is going to teach that, because that is not there in your course. Okay, so just try to see those questions, try to start preparing them from now onwards, so that whenever the recruiter is coming, it's not like, okay, maybe sir is informing you 1 or 2 days before, because that's when he'll get to know. Because as a company, I may just tell him that I'm coming tomorrow to recruit the students. You won't have time then. Trust me, you won't have time then. And then you'll start blaming the other people. You'll start blaming your parents. You'll start blaming the education here. There is no fault in anything else but in yourself, because you haven't been utilizing your skills, or you haven't been improving your skills during this time. Have fun. I mean, I'm totally into having fun. So I think I was one of the most notorious kids of my class. So I'm being very honest to that. I really like playing pranks and all. But at the same time, you should know when to get serious. That's the only thing, okay? Because if you are spending this much, just you won't be able to take it when all the other people are going to get placed and you are not getting placed. And that is definitely going to happen with some of the people, because recruiters, they are not going to get everyone on the very first day. That particular feeling is not a very good feeling. Trust me. You might have had a similar feeling, or you might not have had during the undergraduation also. So you know how to get the maximum out of it. Leave everything onto the recruiters. You will definitely get what you deserve. In fact, you are going to get much more than that. Okay. One of the examples of a person who is really building up her profile, being a part of NDIM, is Pallavi. We just hired her as an ambassador. So she is actually liaising between NDIM and Bloomberg. And she is a fantastic HR person. She has been a very, very good ambassador also. I think she can start talking a little bit about Bloomberg and her experience as an ambassador, because once she is graduating, one of you will be taking up her role, okay, later on. She'll be sharing a little bit of her experience, and from there we'll move towards engagements between Bloomberg and NDIM, okay? Very big introduction, right? It wasn't an introduction because I haven't introduced formally myself, but it was, is this girl sleeping?
Wake up.
Okay, not a very good thing to do, okay? Yeah. Okay, perfect. Well, before anyone else starts yawning, Pallavi, please take over.
Thank you, ma'am. A very good afternoon to all my faculty, my mentors, and my juniors, my new friends. It's not for the first time that I'm in here speaking behind this, standing on the dais, addressing students, but at that time I was talking on behalf of NDM only. As she said, now I'm between NDM and Bloomberg. Journey from being an audience to a speaker, if I reveal that it's very simple, they came, a very structured interview was there, I got selected, I get an offer from ma'am, and now I'm working for them. But when I go into depth, it was very critical. I got selected in CRC team over here as a student member. It was very good. I thought that I have been there not because I'm the best, but what I feel was they think, Prasad sir think that I have a lot to learn and I can learn that. And that's why he selected me. Whatever ma'am said, that was when I had a second interaction with her in her office. This was same what she told me. After implementing them, I know now where I am standing. Not only Bloomberg, I am doing an internship with a very good company, again from NDIM. I'm the only HR person over there in that MNC. That again an achievement for me. It's all because what we our mentors telling to us, and we're actually following them. We're not like sun liya, ho gaya, and that's it. No, we actually follow that. So just an advice to all of you, whatever ma'am told to you, and of course all the faculty members will going to tell to us in other 2 years, try to follow that. Because if any company selects you, if any person pick you up from a group of such a good people, everyone is best, as ma'am told. We just have to identify where we are best. So if they're going to pick up, just think not that you are the best. It's just that you can learn more as per them. That's it. Now, that was from NDIM. Now coming to Bloomberg, as I'm an ambassador today. Let's talk about my job. BAT, Bloomberg Aptitude Test. Bloomberg LP, as it was introduced to you earlier as well. Shut it down. Okay. Yeah, right. So, okay. What is Bloomberg? Yeah, please. Okay. Me too. Me too. Okay. What he said was right. They are into, basically their background is related to finance. Everything, they provide softwares, they have media channels, they have magazines, they have newspapers, they publish all kind of news on a global level related to finance. Bloomberg Institute is an education division of Bloomberg LP, and they are entering into education sector through their test, that is Bloomberg Aptitude Test, BAT. And like, it's, you all know CAT and MAT, right? That is a link between students and colleges. The USP of BAT is it is a link between you people and the employers. It links you directly to the companies. Not only the financial companies, non-financial companies as well. That's why we recommend this test to all the management students. The test been recommended by more than 3,000 universities, and they do conduct them in the colleges as well globally. And the test takers the numbers being increased. It's more than 2 lakh students who have taken this test and still increasing, more than 62 countries, and more than 40,000 employers are connected to our BAT exam. What is BAT? A 2-hour aptitude test consists of 100 questions divided into 8 different sections, 8 divisions, which are related to simple aptitude things. These are financial statement analysis, chart, graphs analysis, analytical reasoning, news analysis, math skills, global market, investment banking, and economics. How to take the BAT test? It's very simple. You have to go to our Bloomberg Institute site, takethebat.com. You can refer there. You came to know where the BAT is being conducted, the location, exact university name, college, date and time. You just have to apply there, register, fill your profile initially, and you can submit your registration. You have to go to the location where the BAT has been conducted, the session you have to attend. It's an online test. Now the scores. Initially, the scores will be out of 500. Within first week after the test being taken, the scores will be out on your email. Within 3 to 5 weeks, they will provide a score to you section wise. As you can see the picture, exactly the score will be given to you. They will highlight which are your strengths. They will highlight which section you have to work more, where you have to emphasize more, which section you're actually growing very well, you can do more in that. They will give a detailed scorecard to you in this way. You can actually identify what I have to work on and what I can post to the employers at the time of the interview, as you have the scorecard with you at that time. Self-assessment, that's what we provide the first. As ma'am told you, you should know what is best in you. We help you to identify that on technical grounds. You'll be able to know where I am best, where I can convince recruiters that this is what I'm good. Maybe like when I take the test, I know I'm not good in maths, but my logical reasoning is very good. My graph analysis are very good. I'm good in analyzing the news. So these are my main points. I know that I can perform that, and now I can prove to the recruiters as well according to my scorecard. Next is for recruitment. We connect you directly to the employers. You can go to the Bloomberg database. You can refer there. Once you had made your profile, there will be a password and a login ID for you. You can go there. You can check our database. They will let you know how many employers are being there and such kind of a database that we provide over there. You can came to know who all are the employers, the companies, organizations that are linked with us. Those who actually refer the BAT score, you'll be able to know that. It would help you that where you can apply, what you can target, how to perform in BAT, and all that. This is how employers search for the students. There are many filters. They can go for one section, they can go for 2 sections, and of course if you are highlighting over there, they can list your profile from there and they can let you know that they can give a call. As I shared with Sumi ma'am that I had received a mail from one of the companies, that is New York based company. I had already received a mail from their side and it's kind of an HR profile or something. So they will directly call you, they directly mail you, they can ask for your resume, you can upload your resume over there and then you can go for many opportunities. After taking the test, you can access your profile over there. Complete the profile by uploading your updated resume over there. You can check your scores accordingly. You can make a good profile, a good write-up for you, what you're good at, how you can post best to the recruiters those are reviewing your profile. Your strengths, weaknesses, you can compare yourself at a global level because many scores will be available there. This test is going on a global level. Accordingly, you can add additional information about yourself. You can search for talent over there. You can search companies over there. You can apply there as well. Some questions that students do ask, how to prepare for the test. Let me tell you, there is nothing that to do with the preparation. It's a basic aptitude test. Whatever you had done yet, that is absolutely enough. No preparation is required for this test. Can I remove or add my scores? Of course you can. Suppose you had taken BAT for 3 times. You think your best score is in the second one. You can go and edit your score over there so that the recruiter can refer only that score. And of course, you have to complete scorecard. More important, both I would say your overall performance do matter, but when it comes to filtering the employer, either employer filters for you or you filters for employer, your section-wise scores also do matter. Nobody fails in BAT, so it's not any question. You can give it as many times you can, and of course you can take the BAT again and again in any case.
Just one clarification. Your sectional scores are going to be more important than the overall score, because the employers, they won't be seeing your overall score. They are for your reference to know which percentile do you stand at, right? Your sectional scores are definitely going to be much more important for the employers. Why? Because let's say I have an opening in analytics. What would I be doing with a person who is really good in investment banking, right? So I would be choosing only 3 to 4 sections which I think are relevant to that particular profile. And if you're scoring really good on those sections, then you will be definitely my preferred choice. Okay. Can I take this? Yeah, sure. Thanks, Vallavi. So there are another things that are there. Which is your favorite destination? Anyone? California. Okay, perfect. What if we tell you that you can get a chance to work there? This is something which is possible by giving this test. How? Because you, during, whenever you're filling your profile, they'll be asking you your preferred choice of employment location. Whichever cities you are going to choose, you'll be getting calls majorly from those cities itself. Okay. Now, any test which you think is similar to BAT. Right now there is none actually. You may refer to some local tests, but then those are for very niche companies. We are targeting only the elite recruiters that have presence globally. So there won't be any indigenous recruiters itself. All the companies that are associated with us, they'll have a global presence. Of course, they'll have a presence in India too. And it will be totally your call. None of the recruiters will be able to see your personal details unless and until you want them to. So for example, let's say she showed you the profile. I as a recruiter is liking the profile, which mind you doesn't mention your name, your designation, your phone number, your email ID or anything. If I'm liking the profile, there's a request resume icon over there. I'll click there. You'll receive an email saying Sumi Kataria from Bloomberg is trying to contact you for this particular profile. Now the ball is in your court. Should you choose to connect back with me, it is only then I'll be able to see your resume and your personal details. Otherwise, I won't be able to see that. Okay? So it's totally up to you whether you want to connect back with the recruiters or not, which I'm assuming you will, because yeah, everyone wants a job at the end of the day. So this is how the recruiters are going to work. We maintain a strict privacy policy. There are certain tests like CFA, GRE, GMAT. You might have heard of. What is the minimum cost for those tests? Which is around 10,000. Minimum 13,000-14,000, and CFA ranges up to 50,000 per attempt. These are mainly the certifications, right? Or GRE, GMAT. These courses would may end up getting you some admissions in one of the degree colleges abroad, right? But this test will definitely get you employer, right? Employer, which is their ultimate aim. Even if you are going abroad for studies, the ultimate aim is to build up your profile so that the recruiters can hire you. So we are making you we are just giving you a kickstart to your career, or make you jump your career ladder by 3 to 4 years. And we are not charging anything. Okay, so it's absolutely free of cost. We'll be conducting, I guess, almost twice in India IM, so you have a pretty good chance to get selected. Just give the test. We are trying to organize it next week also if things work out. So you can give the first attempt right now, which is free. Again, we'll be conducting it after a few months so that you can analyze your scores right now. You can start working on them, and then in the next attempt you can really excel. Okay. So that's what we'll be aiming to do. And apart from this, do you have any questions now? I think with the bad thing we are done, but do you have any questions related to Bloomberg aptitude test? Yeah, definitely. So recruiters would be knowing that you will be available from May, June next year for the recruitment. So that is completely there. Don't worry about that. And in the first year, you will be majorly getting calls for the internship. But that totally depends upon how you are going to perform in the test. This is something which we cannot guarantee that you will get a call. You have an example in front of you. She has already gotten a call. And but what we can promise you is the assessment report which we are going to give you. There you can see where do you stand as compared to your peers globally. Okay? Recruitment is just an additional part which we are offering. And if you are going to perform really well, definitely the recruiters are looking for a talent like you. Yeah. There was just one investment banking. Marketing and media field as such are not there, but we have sections like news analysis, global markets, if you saw. Right? So news analysis is nothing but you're testing your skills in verbal and reading comprehensions and all, and a little bit about your knowledge, how you comprehend any news article as such. So that's just testing whether you are a right fit for the industry or not. Similarly, with chart and graph analysis, more majorly data interpretation. So the names are a little bit different, which is something which globally recruiters understand. It's not like India specific per se, but the sections are going to be very, very general. So don't worry about that. Definitely. So see, think of it in a way, the recruiters which are getting associated with us. Why will they be associated with us with only for only one profile? They'll have opening in all the major locations about in all the departments. So when they're getting associated with us, they recruit for each and every profile, not just one profile as such. Yeah. Yes, please. Who is asking?
When is the exam? They're asking.
Next week probably. Next week or next to next week, whenever you people are free. No. We'll be uploading a session for NDIN specifically. You have to upload. You have to register for that particular session only, so that you can give it here. Because that's how your profile is going to get created, and that's how we are going to activate the links for you. Perfect. That's all about that. A little bit more on the engagements between Bloomberg and NDIM. We actually started up with the BAT only, and then we are taking it to the next level this year. We'll try to implement that as a part of the curriculum. We have already hired Pallavi, which is a part of the live project which she is doing with us, and she'll be there with us for almost 1 year, where she'll be a part of a global team. She'll be earning really good incentives, and she'll be yeah. You actually forgot to mention your achievements. Yeah, she was the first person who actually won one of the international competitions, and where which because we keep on running certain competitions on Facebook and other. We are right now running up Summer Intern Challenge. So whosoever from this batch is going to be a part of, or whosoever is going to score really good and a part of the top quartile in Asia Pacific, they'll get a chance to represent India and NDIM at Hong Kong in July end too. So that's another level of engagement which we are doing. And then yes, we have one more global live project which I'll be just talking to them. I just referred NDIM's name for that, and that is going to be get monitored from the New York office, Bloomberg's New York office. We'll be needing some 40-50 people for that. So I'll be talking to Bhumika ma'am about it, and probably she'll be able to take the thing further from there. Then there is one more program which I was talking about. There is an organization called Global Shapers, which is a part of World Economic Forum. They'll be offering a global fellowship program, and they'll be selecting top 100 students from India, and they'll be training them and guiding them and mentoring them throughout. So all the top organizations throughout India will be mentoring them in some way or other. You'll be getting a lot of training modules which any student won't get otherwise. So I've already referred NDIM's name for that, and probably will be getting associated there also. So lot of things to do. It's totally up to you how many opportunities do you want to grab. I'm just talking about one organization. These are a part of corporate relations. So they'll be having umpteen number of organizations. It's up to you from where can you grab the maximum projects. And that's how you're going to build up your profile. Okay? Anyone who's sleepy? Okay, perfect. Do you want to continue? I think we can show you one more video, which is Bloomberg's office video. Yeah, so that you can get a little bit just about the organization too. In case you really want to work for us, do let us know. And yeah, I think that should be all. There is one more video which is about the interview skills and all. Probably some other time we can show you. Because I think we are already taking a lot of time. Many people are sitting here since morning, right? Good job. I would have slept.
Hey Cubes, I'm Susie Stote. I'm a correspondent here at Bloomberg TV, and I'm so glad you're doing this because I love this building. I've worked in a number of newsrooms that are old and falling apart. They've got asbestos coming off the ceilings. Not here. This is more like a futuristic city in Tokyo. Let me show you around. We're here at Bloomberg headquarters in New York, which has 6,000 employees, and this area is known as the Link, where they all come to congregate. The idea is to promote interactivity and free flow sharing of ideas. Zipper, real-time information to keep us all informed, and the home of the famous pantry. Let's go look at that. The Bloomberg Pantry is kind of famous for providing free snacks, healthy and non-healthy varieties. Some of my personal favorites, various cappuccino machines. Not having to go to Starbucks every day is very emancipating. And the pièce de résistance, natural organic peanut butter, a third, made of actual peanuts. One of the things that's really neat is that all of the cutlery, the spoons, everything is biodegradable. This is made of potato. This cup is made of cornstarch. You can take a bite out of it. Maybe not. They take great pains to make sure everything is composted here. And the best part, you can eat your snacks outside. This is the outdoor lounge area. And if you're having a stressful day, come out here for 5 minutes, have a snack, decompress, and it really does make a difference. And it's kind of a brilliant plan on behalf of our employers because, of course, we never have to leave the building. One outstanding feature, fish tanks. They're in the walls, they're in the floor. We have 30 aquariums in this building, and the idea is to create a more tranquil environment for the employees. I don't know about you, but I feel calmer just looking at them. This is a pretty cool feature. It's very rare. It's one of less than 10 curved escalators in the entire world. Let's take a ride. And Bloomberg is famous for its art. In fact, this is a Spanish sculpture that is meant to replicate an actual thunderstorm cloud. Pretty neat. This is the green room where the guests sit and wait before they go on air. And the glass was actually made by 3M, which makes Scotch tape, and it's meant to resemble Scotch tape. And it also offers privacy for the guests because you can't see directly in the room from the side when you're walking by. This is the newsroom. This is where all the magic happens. As you can see, no one here has an office. No one in the entire building has an office. Everyone at Bloomberg, even the president, has a cubicle. And it's very hard to get uppity or think you're all that when you have a dinky desk like everyone else. So it's a good thing. You can say this is the anti-Cubes episode of Cubes. So this is where all the writers, producers, reporters, assignment managers sit and do their work, including the notorious Murderer's Row where all the bosses sit, including intrepid managing editor Dan Collery. So show us your baseball bat.
This is deputy managing editor. Helps me report my points and my point of view on the reporters and the producers.
This is my desk and my very own Bloomberg terminal. Every employee at Bloomberg actually has one. And Michael Bloomberg founded this company in 1981 and sold the very first 22 Bloomberg terminals to Merrill Lynch. Now, the terminal has more than 300,000 subscribers. And a lot of people on Wall Street can't do their job without one. Security to get on the terminal is very tight. You have to show your fingerprint. So this is the main set where most of our programs are filmed, and it includes various bells and whistles like the touch screen, where we can illustrate charts, and even downward trajectories like the kinds we're seeing today.
everybody. Tom Keene with Bloomberg Surveillance and Surveillance Midday. A very busy day here. It's Friday. It's Jobs Day when we're doing this. Non-stop action.
This is the Charlie Rose Studio. It's been taping here since 1991. As you can see, there's not much to see. There's the iconic black background, the table and chairs, and all the cameras are robotically controlled so that all the guests feel like they're having an intimate one-on-one chat with Charlie. Now we're going to show you the top of Bloomberg, the 29th floor. The elevator colors here are green for up and red for down, just like the stock market indicators. This is the top of the Bloomberg headquarters, the 29th floor. Employees come here to relax, take a 5-minute break, and enjoy the gorgeous New York City skyline. Thanks for hanging with us, Hughes. I'm Gigi Stone, and I hope you enjoyed our Bloomberg building as much as we do.
How did you people like it? Does anyone want to work for Bloomberg now? We have a few people. Just a few people. Yeah. Okay. Cool, yeah. Let's see. Okay. Those who don't want to work for Bloomberg, they didn't like the building, is it? Okay, yeah. But yeah, we do provide a lot of free snacks, chocolates, drinks in the office. Yeah, she takes every time she comes. Just kidding. But we do provide that. Any 2 features which you think, which she said they are there on every Bloomberg office. Okay, one more. Okay, who said? Yeah, you deserve a chocolate. I didn't give you because you already. Alright, during which year was Bloomberg found? I just have 2. Okay. Who founded Bloomberg? No chocolate for that. Okay. He is what? He was what? No. Yeah, founder he is. He's still working with Bloomberg. Till December, he wasn't working with Bloomberg. What was his profession with that? That's correct. You have already gotten chocolate. No? Oh yeah, you deserve it. Very good. Yes, he was the mayor of New York City until December, and after December, he has joined Bloomberg back. But yes, he was the founder of Bloomberg. So we are into news, we are into media, we are into analytics, we are into markets, we are into sales, we are into sports analytics. Who follows FIFA? Soccer World Cup, football? Still very less percentage. Okay. Yeah, we have a special department that is actually, its job is to predict what's the outcome of each and every match till the winners actually. So yeah, that's again there. We are into education, we are into law, we are into government, we are into television, Bloomberg TV. If anyone has seen, I'm sure you haven't, but yeah, yeah, it's a business challenge, definitely. Yes. Thank you so much. We are not left with any chocolate now. Sorry. So yeah. So the only thing is we are into everything which you people would be wanting. Is there any department which are left where you want to work? Pretty much covered, right? So we are into everything. It's just that, and we are hiring throughout the year now. So in different offices. So if you really want to work for us, start letting us know and start making up your profiles too, so that we would be coming to hire you. Okay? Thank you so much for coming and joining us. And we would be seeing you now for the Bloomberg aptitude test, yeah? Thank you. Is there any other question which we left? So we have covered a lot of them, yeah. Any other question that is left, though? I think we've asked all, yeah? We were asking throughout the presentation.
Yeah.
Perfect. Apart from this, even if there is any question anytime, you can anytime approach us. I'll be more than happy to answer. Yeah, and I do revert to emails. So in case you have any questions, please feel free to ask us. Yeah. All right. Thank you.